Hi, I would like to demonstrate to you the Groove Center, which is an exciting new tool for the router table. What this tool does is help the woodworker to set the router fence at exactly the correct position to route a groove in the middle of your board. Normally you would do this by measuring the board, dividing that value by 2, and then measure the distance between the router fence and the router bit, so that your measurement is always a function of several calculations, not the least the diameter of the router bit. Now with this jig, no measurement is required at all. You don't even have to know the dimensions of your wood and the thickness of the stock here. Because what you do, you put it in like so, and automatically the finger that points here will indicate where to set your router fence. And once you've taken the Groove Center out without moving your fence, you will have secured the fence, of course, with the usual clamping mechanisms. You're ready to route a groove exactly in the center of your board. Now this is done by a mechanism whereby the vice slider that's on top of this tool is linked on a 2-to-1 ratio with this slider that extends out at the front. And therefore, whatever the size is in here, the half distance will be indicating at this end. The tool itself registers with the half-inch pin right into the router arbor, and therefore it is always correct, whatever the size and diameter of your router bit. Now, if you want to, you can use a bigger pin. This is a 1.5-inch pin. And also, in order to set the proper zero measuring, you can take this out of this slot and put it back in. There's a little backer piece there that will allow you to find the right place when you put it back in. The 0 point is set automatically because there is a small indent on this part here. And when you put that back in, the pointer that travels back in here will hit that midpoint, and therefore the front section of this pointer is always right on top of the exact center of the half-inch pin. So this tool can be used like so. You just set it, you drop it into the router arbor. If you wish, you can actually secure it by putting these 2 feet, slide them forward in the mitre gauge track and tightening the knobs. Now the tool is very stable. You can see how the mechanism works. It slides out and the finger comes out at half distance. This works every time, whatever the size of your board. It goes out to 4.5 inches, which is useful for when you're making drawers and you want to route a groove in the center of your drawer sides for your drawer slides. You don't have to measure them, and if you have drawers of different heights, it's useful that at all times you know that your grooves are going to be right in the center of the drawer height. It's also useful because when you have to route grooves in your board, for instance, for making cabinet doors, the repeatability is ensured when you know that your groove is always right in the center. If you don't put it in the center and you have to make another door, it's difficult to replicate exactly where that groove is going to be. Now, what the average woodworker and what we all do to make a groove in the center of our board, we pass the stock not once but twice over the router bit, say 1/4 inch router bit, we eyeball the correct position of the fence. We slide our board over it, and in order to ensure that the groove is in the center, we flip the board end for end and take another other pass like so. Now we know that the groove is exactly in the center of our board, but we also know that the groove is too wide. Of course, this mechanism using the groove center avoids that problem completely. So there you have it. This is the groove center.